Beloved, welcome back to the shop. In my hands, this little black box. Inside is one of the most generous gifts anyone has ever given to me my entire life. My friend and NCO to the war band, Mr. Overton Windex, sent us a monocular of the latest, greatest digital night vision / thermal. I've been using this for a week. This is an amazing technology, and it's coming very close, if not already surpassing analog night vision. I wanted to share it with you, and today a little bit something different. I wanted to put it on a rifle. Apparently, you can mount this on the top of the rail and shoot through it with optics, or at least we'll look through it today. So let me unbox it here, show you what's inside, and then we'll get to work and do a little testing. This is the Shinenyx G1A, and it costs $4,200. Mr. Overton's actually done a really nice kind of a summary of the pros and cons of digital versus analog. And if it hasn't already, it's about to eclipse the analog stuff. This is made in China, but it's very high quality. $4,200 gets you a binocular. It gets you the mount, which I have not used yet. This will go right here on any pick rail, so we'll try that out today, as well as the J-arm that works with a Wilcox mount for helmet mounting, which I have not used at all either, and we'll try that today as well. Mr. Overton, bless him, also sent a spare Wilcox mount to add to my existing one. These are the best of the best right here. Absolutely skook them. And then, of course, the tool kit. But enough of that. Let's get into the meat and potatoes here and take a look at this unit. This is a monocular, meaning it's a handheld unit, or it can be used as weapons mount. You see right there on the bottom, this interface is very similar. It's got the lugs on it. All this is a metal housing and a very simple, clean interface. Let's bring you up close here and I'll show you the nitty gritty. The Shinenyx, or is it Shinenyx? Shinenyx G1A has a very simple interface. Off and on, 4 modes. Digital night vision, digital thermal, night vision with thermal overlay, and it is very, very good. The menus cycle through each other. There's 3 magnifications, close, medium, far. They just rotate through the dials, and that's basically it. There's a cover. Unlike traditional regular night vision, which will get destroyed if it's out in the daylight for too long or not moving, this is impervious to that. It makes no difference. So I think that's the thermal lens right there, and this is probably the digital night vision lens as well. The whole housing is robust, very well made, durable. It does have a diopter in the back and then a removable eye cup. And this is the objective that you look into. So if you're using it with glasses, you can dial that in and bring that up a little bit clearer. This is USB-C port charging, and the batteries are replaceable. So I don't have any of these big batteries, but I think these are pretty common with some of the newer flashlights. But you can get extra of these. I forget which one it is. These are the 12850s. The 12850s, and that's a lot of battery. They run a long time. I have left it on one time and it did run out, but it was on all night. But normally it just goes and goes and goes. Let's see, minus and plus. So that's really nice, not having to worry about it ruining the lens. But screw down cap, I don't know what the waterproof rating is. It's going to be good though. Decent. It's all gasketed and sealed up, but a nice unit. Look how sturdy that mount is with the lugs. This will be the rifle mount, and that will go on there and click right on any rail. So it can be handheld. The menus it's excellent the way that it's set up because your hand falls naturally on the on, and you can cycle through the modes. I just have my finger on this and left turn to adjust it right there. Isn't that cool? All right, let me show you what it looks like. This is always a little bit challenging using a phone, but I'll do the best I can to hold this steady. So you can see, and it doesn't matter, nighttime, daytime, nothing matters. I have been using this to find my cat Toothless at night. I can find field mice running around in the grass. So right here you have the red is the thermal overlay, and the white is the night vision. We cycle here, it reverses it, and you see it fades in and out. Those red highlight markers, they go in and out. They continuously blink back and forward, but you can see the white, of course, is the hot, and with the red overlay. Here's the color. So your reds and your yellows are going to be hotter. You can see where the heat is. We can look over here, we can see computer. And then there's a reverse of that, where instead of the whites being hot, the blacks are hot. This one here, the night vision seems to be the best. Now what's cool about, look at this, how sensitive it is. It's incredible. Just the heat from my hand. Look at that. That's the heat right there. You can see footprints. Very, very sensitive. As I said, I saw a mouse in the front yard running around in absolute pitch black. Phenomenal technology. But you can just kind of see the capabilities. Now this is going to be the zoom. So if we, this is all digital. If we rotate this, far, medium, super zoom. Pretty incredible, isn't it? My goodness. Now, will this mount up and work on a rifle? Apparently it's supposed to. So let's do that today. I've got two uppers set aside here. I've got Magnified, and I've got just a regular T2. I'll be curious to see. I don't know if height matters. I've got lower 1/3 co-witness we can throw on if we need to. I've got the Unities, which are, you know, the 2-inch or the taller mount. I'm not sure. I don't know. But let's mount it up and play with it, see what happens. These two uppers are my best two. These would be the two I would grab, go to war, break glass in case of war. This is a 14.5 Geisley with a pinned Surefire 4-prong. Well, we'll go tip to butt, shall we? 4-prong Surefire, mod light, super bright, in red on an Arisaka M-LOK mount with a Knight's Armament bipod adapter. I believe that's Knight's Armament flip up front sight and taupe. Very, very cool. This is a Daniel Defense barrel. This was the original one that first came out with the gas block that's pinned and set screws. Bomb proof. This is really, really good. This the flash hider is pinned and welded. So this is a legal 14.5 without having to have the tax stamp. It's on the Geisley rail, Unity mount, T2 aim point on a Colt upper with Knight's Armament USMC stamped. Very cool micro sight. If you have a military grade, like top of the line upper, you know, like this is the Daniel Defense RIS 2, and this is considered, well, if you know, you know, right? I mean, it's considered to be probably among the most reliable of all of them. There's a cutaway there, so there is room. We'll just put 2 screws in because it's going to be coming back off here. I don't know that I would necessarily put it on an optic. Since I already have night vision, I'm more likely to run it just as a handheld in a pouch. But who's to say? Maybe. That's what's nice to have the option. Okay, so that mounts on there like that. Let's put it on the upper. I think they wanted the mount done this way so that you could get it closer to the optic. You know, now we're not gonna be running into anything, and I can put that right up next to it. Make sure you open your dust cap. I don't know how important this decision is gonna be. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of room there. But just a regular thumb screw. Lock that down on there, and that's pretty solid, pretty solid. See, we're looking through the top end there. That's crazy tech, isn't it? That is absolutely crazy. What a capability. All right, can we see through it? All right, gentlemen, this is a little bit tricky, and what you're seeing is not doing justice to how good it is, but you can see the red dot there, and you see the heat. Like you see it cycles in red the stove. The red dot is clearly seen. You can see the heat signature of the stove, the outline of the pipe, and you have the digital night vision as well. It doesn't seem to matter at all that it's not looking through the center of that sensor. You can see the heat on the light. That's pretty impressive. So by clipping this on, now you're getting digital night vision, which is very respectable, as well as thermal overlay. If I cycle through the modes here, look at that. Oops, where's the red dot there? Quite impressive indeed. I'm surprised that it works that good. It's not going to look great on the camera. I can tell you in person, it's very good. You can see the thermal signature. That's what it's going to look like. That is incredible. All right, well, let's see how it works on magnification. This upper is for a Mark 18. So from tip to butt, surefire 3-prong. This is a 10-3 barrel on a Scout Light, surefire, CR123, a C1 Mall, and Unity's remote switch for the light right there, which is a really good, it's the best light switch that I've found so far. RIS-2 rail on a Daniel Defense barrel. We have Daniel Defense sling mount. We have a Geisley mount for the ACOG. I pushed this all the way to the back. If you push these all the way to the back, you solve that eye relief problem. This is the ACSS or ACCS reticle, sadly no longer made, with a Trigicon RMR on the top. And this is all Daniel Defense, all factory. A bolt carrier group. Charging handle I have on that is a Geisley. Airborne, is it? I don't know what the height over bore is on the Geisley mount. We know that this is lower 1/3, and it appears to be the same. So that maybe that is a little bit higher. I don't know. I know it's pretty low. You got to really kind of turtle in there to get on it. But actually I prefer it. So this will be the first time I've done this on an Magnified. A Magnified optic. Center of that optic is going to be right in here, I'm guessing. So that's actually pretty close. But will it work when you magnify through it? I might have to change the diopter. This seems to change the distance of the lens a little bit further from the sensor, so you can correct for if you wear glasses or shooting with or without glasses. You can. It's just like on night vision. You can bring things into focus there. Let's take a look and see. The ACOG is 4x, so we're going to want to take that outside. We won't be able to see anything from in here. So it's probably about 500 yards or so down to the tree line. This is going to be challenging. I've already looked at it, so if you can't see it, maybe I'll explain to you what my experience is. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. So what I can see is if I saw a deer or an elk or anything down there in the tree line, I can see the thermal signature. I can clearly see it, the trees and such. Would I be able to get on target with a thermal signature with this? Yes. Could I identify exactly what it was? No. It's pretty grainy. It's not as good as, it may have to do with, maybe it's because it's so shooting down so low, or the magnification definitely brings out the grain in the image, but it's usable. Again, I want to point out, I never was planning on mounting this to a rifle. This was simply to be a monocular to go on a pouch, to be an addition to analog night vision. But what I see here, and I haven't shot with it obviously, but what I see here is I see that it's usable. There's a lot going on there. It's a little bit chunky. It's a little bit bigger, maybe just a tiny bit bigger than a PVS 14, but not much. It's very similar, maybe a little bit heavier if I had to guess, but it does work on there. It definitely mounts on there, and I mean, it comes off pretty quickly with the wing nut, but I don't know that I would try to use it with the ACOG, but I definitely could see where you could use it with the T1, and nothing's gonna be able to hide from that. I mean, anything in the signature, animals, coyotes, they clearly show through on here. Build quality, it's very nicely built. It's not up to the standard of a Trijicon. If it felt like that, like a ACOG, for example, it would be 3 prices. But it seems to be very well made and really robust. Let's take this mount off, and then let's try it on a helmet. Now, this is the helmet mount adapter that also comes with it, and Luke's also sent another Wilcox mount. This is the gold standard for night vision mounts. This is the one that I have currently here on my MTech. And there is a dovetail. How this works is your night vision has this dovetail part that interfaces in the V here. It's that V shape so you can easily find it. That clips in there, just like you would on the helmet right there. And this is designed to be that piece right there. So I have not done this before. We'll see how it works. But on the Wilcox mount, it should fit right in here like this and lock in. This is a polymer piece and a polymer arm. Doesn't quite, it's just, the tolerances are not quite there, where this release here is supposed to catch on the inside, and it doesn't, I don't hear it clicking. You hear how, listen to this one. You'll hear the precision. Or usually you do. This one's brand new. That one doesn't, let me get mine. I don't know what's going on with that one. Try this one. Yeah, hear that click? Where that pawl locks in there so it won't come out. Maybe it's that mount. Oh yeah, it's the mount. It's the problem, not this. Because this one here, it might be that it's new. That clicks in perfectly. There's an adjustment screw here to move this a little bit. I'm guessing to the left and the right, depending on your ocular width. But one thing that is completely sus is this mount here. This is very, very small. It is a metal screw and a metal mount, but only having one screw there. It is keyed in, so it can't rotate. It's not terrible, but that should be improved. That will break if you knock it, especially everything being polymer. But with my experiences, you tend to really take care of this stuff because it's so expensive. All right, so that should technically clip on here. We'll leave that screw loose, and then this will move back and forth to adjust it. And that will be going over the right eye. And then we'll flip down. It actually looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Let's try it out. It looks and feels just like a PVS 14, a binocular mounted helmet. There is one tremendous oversight here though. Can anyone see what it is? It appears, unless I'm doing something wrong, you cannot access the off and on button or the mode button. Now you can turn the off and on button on. No, you can access it. I take that back. It's somewhat obstructed in the middle, but you can definitely reach it. I was going to say that they wouldn't have done that. Okay, so this should flip down here. Oh, that's excellent. It's already just exactly where I need it. So that J arm slides, well, that's pretty good too. So about right in the middle. Wow, that's a lot better than I was expecting. There's a little thumb screw on there. Wow, such a nice big image. I'm not going to be able to show you what I see here. It's going to be just like what we saw before. But yeah, I can access the modes, or that's the off and on. Yeah, easily. Wow, that's really good. Except for I want to, yeah, that's really good. Big field of view. It's so much easier to line up. I mean, I can adjust it a little bit here with my mount, but there's really no need to. That is quite excellent and very usable. With this mount, you can adjust in and out, but it doesn't seem to make any difference with this. It's just so easy to look through. I've got an adjustment, I can take it up and down. That's too low. So it's definitely in the higher position. So it's similar to where I would have my night vision. But that is excellent. You can flip it up out of the way. Yeah, that's a whole lot better than I was expecting. I would, I don't know, man. We'll have to take this out at nighttime and look around a little bit more. But I would have to take a hard look at this before I would buy a PVS 14 if I didn't already have night vision. Because you get the thermal overlay. Yeah, you can totally access the buttons. It's not a problem. Turn it off and on. And that big field of view is really, it just feels big. Wow, it's really, really good. This is totally usable. As usable as any analog night vision monocular I've ever used. Wow, that is quite good, just in comparison. It'll come now. You know, you can kind of see size-wise with dual tubes. That J-arm is actually, it feels pretty good. The fact that it's keyed in and it can't rotate, it's actually a pretty nice unit. I'm less worried about it now than I was before. Not used to locking that in. Very, very usable. Easy to look through. And goodness, that thermal overlay, that is really, really something. Pleasantly surprised. Here's my zoom on the side. If I want, oh, I had it zoomed in now. That is excellent. That is really, really excellent. If I had to make a decision right now over this, over a PVS 14, I would pick this. No question about it. All right. Let's wrap up with my final thoughts. I guess my final thoughts is that this is a legitimate, very legitimate piece of kit, and like Luke said, probably some of the most fun I've ever had. Like, so I've got night vision, you know, we go out and use it and such, but you know, it takes the helmet. It's a kind of a process, and as cool as it is, and it's, you know, very nice to have. I noticed with this that this is actually more, it's handier. It's more applicable just in the day-to-day life. My cat, Toothless, runs out, and I'm looking for her. I can, there's no place that she can hide. I thought, oh, there she is. She's in the bushes. And when I was out there the other night, I was looking around for her, and I looked down like, oh, there goes a mouse. And this is pitch black. This is like 12 o'clock at night in the country, you know, with no light pollution. And then scanning the tree line, I can see deer. I can see, with it, just in just a couple seconds, I can 360-degree scan wherever I'm at, regardless of the environment, and see, is someone slipping up on you? Is there a bear in the woods? And to have the night vision and the thermal all in one in a robust little package that you can put in a pouch on your plate carrier or what have you, or just take with you. Been taking this with me like my granddad used to carry, as he called, spy glasses, binoculars. He always had binoculars. But this is the tremendous capability to be able to see in pitch black any heat signature. You know, funny thing is, I was, when I first got this, when Luke sent it to me, I was playing with it. This was in the morning, and I was in my closet, and I'd been in my closet for about 15 minutes, I think 20 minutes. I'd even taken a shower, and I was getting dressed, and I was looking through it in my closet, and I noticed that one of my jackets in the closet was warmer. And then it dawned on me, that's the one that I took off. I'd been wearing it all morning, and I'd hung it in the closet, and I scanned through there, and this was like 15, 20 minutes later, I could see the heat signature, the warmth from it, because it had been on my body. Like you can see, you know, what cars have been driven. You can see even your footsteps. You can see anything that's been touched. It is very, very sensitive, and I like it. I like the interface. I like having just the simple 4 modes that click through, the off-on button. It fits good in the hand. This is a nice, nice unit. Very nice unit. And shout out to Luke. What a wonderful gift. Was very unexpected, but very appreciated. If you want to see professional reviews of this sort of equipment, go over to his site, Overton Windex. I'll put a link in the description. I'll pin it to the comment. Go over there and tell him I said hello. And I'm sure he's going to have more content on it. But he, you know, like he was saying, he really gave me a nice one sheet right here. Just, there's a lot of pros and cons. He said, is it at the level of analog for most people? Just about. But there's no question that this technology, in my mind, is going to surpass it. If you could get this night vision digital with thermal overlay that's not going to be so vulnerable, that you can have on, you can leave it on, and have both of those in a monocular. I don't even know if you're going to need a monocular. You can have like a rectangle screen, you know, that you can look on, or you're going to have a huge field of view where you can cycle through different modes. I mean, this is predator vision right here. It legitimately is. He said, have you checked out your predator vision? And I'm like, well, it's exactly what it is. That thermal overlay and the digital night vision is phenomenal. This is really very much appreciated, Luke. Thank you so much for this. This was really lacking in the Warband's arsenal. We have night vision, but we did not have thermal, and this is a tremendous capability. If you want, let me know in the comments, and I'll get the Warband together, and we'll put this on one of the helmets, and we'll go out and we'll try it, and we'll see. We'll spend the night working with it and see how it compares to the PVS-14 or the Harris, the dual tubes that I have. But it's a skookum choocher for sure, and I'm very, very grateful to have it. Thank you for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you all on the next video.